Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a story that completely flips the script on what it means to be powerful. We're stepping into the halls of the ultra-prestigious Sei Academy, right? It's this elite school exclusively for cultivating world-class talent. And right in the middle of it all is our main guy, Yoon. But here's the kicker. Yoon is no prodigy. In fact, when we first meet him, he's literally taking a severe beating from his classmates just to prove how painfully average he is. He's this untalented underdog who's just constantly beaten down for his mediocrity in a world that is totally obsessed with perfection.
Okay, let's dive right into this stark contrast. On one side of the ring, we've got Yu. He has absolutely zero talent, failing academic and athletic grades, and, well, his daily routine basically involves being a human punching bag. His one single asset? The guy is incredibly handsome, having inherited his looks from his mother, who was a legendary actress. But standing opposite to him are the absolute apex predators of this academy, the three queens. We're talking millionaire prodigies with unparalleled beauty, holding titles as national champions in their respective fields. The stakes for our underdog seriously could not be any higher.
So, who exactly are these queens? Let's do a quick rundown of the roster. First up, we have the eldest, Kazuki. She's this massive theater star, known for her absolutely flawless prince-like aura. Second is Miwa, the youngest undefeated genius in the super complex board game of shogi. And finally, there's Nico, a completely ruthless powerhouse martial arts champion. Together, they're the Mikadono sisters, and let me tell you, they are untouchable. Now, you might be wondering, how does a guy like you end up tangled up with these untouchable prodigies? Well, the emotional anchor of this whole story comes down to a deeply personal wish from his late mother, the famous actress Saburo Ayase. Before she passed away, she left you with one final, simple instruction. Make sure you have a happy family. Thanks to a connection she had, Yu is actually taken in by the wealthy Mikadono patriarch. So he moves into their massive mansion with just one burning goal, to fulfill his mother's dying wish and finally build a warm, happy family with these three sisters. But that brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? How on earth does a completely talentless underdog survive living with three millionaire prodigies who basically look down on him as a total failure? Well, the reality behind closed doors hits Yuka like an absolute ton of bricks. It turns out the so-called queens of the academy are complete and utter slobs. I mean, their mansion is a literal garbage dump. They are so hyper-focused on their own talents that they completely neglect basic human survival skills. And you know what? This is exactly where Yu discovers his own unique superpower. Get ready for it. Aggressive, relentless domestic support. We're talking about a guy who approaches household chores with the sheer intensity of an anime training arc. Step 1, he systematically deep cleans the entire mansion until the place sparkles. Step 2, he hits the books, reading massive volumes on sports nutrition just to calculate their perfect macros. And step 3, he cooks up these incredible nutritional masterpieces. Basically, his acceptance of his own mediocrity allows him to become the ultimate foundation for their genius. The really crucial takeaway here is that Yon doesn't even try to beat them at their own games. Instead, he systematically breaks down their icy walls through their stomachs. He crafts these perfectly balanced, totally delicious meals, specifically tailored to each sister's intense routine. For Nico, he nails the exact protein-to-calcium ratio for her martial arts recovery. For Miwa, it's carefully crafted sweets to fuel her intense brain activity. He proves that consistent acts of service and genuine care can break through literally any wall, becoming the totally indispensable support system for their prodigy lifestyles. All right, let's move into our first character arc, Section 1, Breaking the Perfect Prince, Kazuki's arc. So Kazuki is secretly crumbling under the immense pressure to be the flawless prince of the stage. She's terrified of making even a single mistake, and this pristine image is actually stifling her ability to play feminine roles. To help her break out of this shell, Yu takes her on a fake date. She dresses up, wears a wig to hide her prince persona, but the date doesn't go perfectly at all. And honestly, that's exactly the point. While they're up on this terrifying glass-bottomed Ferris wheel, Yu shows her pictures he took during the day. Pictures where she stumbled, where she looked clumsy. And he drops this profound line, there are people who will end up falling in love with those little defects. He teaches this flawless prodigy that, hey, it is absolutely okay to fail. This vulnerability leads to a deep connection between them, perfectly building off an earlier, highly embarrassing accidental first kiss they shared over some dropped chopsticks in the kitchen. From the theater, we seamlessly bridge right into the dojo, Section 2, the martial arts queen's duel, Nico's arc. Just as Nico starts to really feel the warmth of the family Yu is building, a ghost from her past shows up. And look at the impossible stakes we're dealing with here. Tatsumi is an undefeated national champion, and Nico's childhood friend, meaning he knows her fighting style perfectly. He's determined to tear Nico away and recruit her to his elite, relentless boarding school. Now, Yu, on the other hand, has zero combat experience. He's literally just the guy who makes their dinner. But to protect the fragile family dynamic they've got going, Yu steps right up and actually challenges this national champion to a duel. No way, right?
What happens next is just a brutal, one-sided beatdown. Yu gets utterly crushed. But here's the thing. He doesn't give up. He acts as a human shield, taking blow after agonizing blow. Why? Because he is secretly executing this genius, sacrificial strategy. He's forcing Tatsumi to repeatedly strike him, secretly tiring out Tatsumi's dominant leg. Yu literally sacrifices his own body just to set the stage for Nico to step into the ring.
The tension here is just palpable. Nico enters the ring, but she's struggling. Tatsumi perfectly predicts her rigid textbook fighting style because, well, she's always fought exactly by the rules. So how can she possibly beat someone who knows her every single move and fully expects her to fight like an emotionless machine? And this brilliantly illustrates the impact Yu has had on her. From the sidelines, a totally battered Yu starts cheering for her with his usual silly, unfiltered energy. Hearing him, Nico does something a prodigy like her has never done in a match. She actually breaks her own rigid rules. She embraces her true, vulnerable self. She smiles, uses an incredibly unexpected feint, takes full advantage of Tatsumi's tired, dominant leg, and boom, secures a massive, triumphant victory. In that moment, she actively chooses her new family over cold perfection. But just as we catch our breath, we pivot to our final, most shocking act. Section 3, the Shogi Queen's Downfall, Miwa's Arc. Miwa, our undefeated genius, suddenly finds herself facing Sakura, a hard-working underdog fueled by relentless passion. Tracking Miwa's rapid and emotional collapse during this is just heartbreaking. Match 1 results in her first shocking loss ever. Match 2, a second devastating defeat. Miwa's entire identity is basically shattered. Facing an opponent who is fueled by pure passion makes Miwa feel entirely empty and superficial. She realizes she only plays shogi because it's what people expect of her. So that night, completely crushed, she runs away into the freezing rain. But Yu refuses to let his family fall apart. He searches the city and actually finds her hiding out in a cat cafe. They end up walking through the city together, buying small gifts for her sisters, and then Yu delivers this beautiful turning point, totally validating her feelings. He tells her, if you want to be praised, it is because you wish for your father to be happy. You want to be on the same level as your sisters because you love them. He teaches her that playing to make the people you love smile, that is a passion all on its own. Armed with Yu's unwavering emotional support, Miwa returns for the deciding match, and she is completely transformed. I mean, she enters the room with this terrifying new aura, no longer playing for the expectations of the masses, but playing for herself and her family. And secretly fueling her, a custom chocolate cat dessert that Yu made for her, which, get this, she secretly kissed right on the little marshmallow shaped like Yu's head. And right as the final, deciding match against Sakura begins, we are left hanging with the ultimate cliffhanger. Can natural talent, finally fueled by genuine love and connection, defeat pure, relentless hard work? It's just a spectacular setup that proves even the most flawed underdog can become the absolute strongest pillar of a family. So what do you think the outcome will be? Think about how Yu's journey completely redefines what it means to be truly strong. We're going to leave you with that thought. Keep learning, keep questioning, and we'll see you in the next explainer.